I mean, I'm just looking through the rankings, dude. It's just like, what can we get? I mean, Stan Jonas. I mean, I know you guys sparred each other
Fuck it,
before.
I'll fight him. It just won't look good. That'll be the most boring fight of my life, man. Cause I ain't got the time to be fighting this dude. Cause he got all the gas. He's the shell station for real. Like he's going the distance. He's the shell station. He keeps it pumping. You know,
Yeah, we got. I mean,
I'm
someone has
making
to
this
fight
shit
you.
slow and nothing happening unless he does some stupid shit and get knocked out again. But like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, it did get stopped, and I can't bring up Jin Sasaki because I mean, he just said that he just can't remember the last 6 weeks of his life. He don't
oh,
even.
Jin Sasaki that just fought,
Yeah. So I mean,
he got knocked into a different year.
he literally says he can't remember the last 6 weeks or the fight. So he probably just remember just signing the fight, or he doesn't remember any of the training camp or nothing. So,
Damn,
I
I'll
mean.
fight him.
I mean, I'm just looking like amongst the names, like can
Yeah, yeah.
who can we get? I mean, Teofimo Lopez might go to 147.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good credible fight. I mean that's perfect, and I would really like to get my hands on To. In fact, I do have a friend. Hold up.
Oh God, just open up a
Oh
can
yeah,
of
I got
worms, man.
robbed.
Oh no. Oh no, no, no. There's no way. I'm just gonna take a guess. While
So once again, I went to Puerto Rico and I made friends, but not just with any friend. I found I found a monkey.
oh no.
You know, I call him To, and To's a good little monkey. And look, he's a little zesty too. I mean, he's got the Puerto Rican flag right there. He even got it on his ass. He tattooed two of them. He made sure he got both cheeks, cheek to cheek. And I would love to make that fight happen with To, aka Mr. Zesty. And it'd be great. It'd be great for the film. It'd be great for the people. It'd be great attraction, and all that bouncing around and flipping around, and we're going to see if he get flipped the fuck out of the ring by Blair Flair. Let's see what happens. Something crazy happens every time Blair Flair gets in the ring. So, last one was a tooth. What's going to happen to him?
I know we're
He
like
might actually flip out of the ring. you know.
I know we're like months out from those monkey comments, but is that kind of the inspiration of that? Like just because he was kind of making those monkey jokes and
Oh man, he's still calling people monkey, man. Like, yeah, this is never going to end. This is never going to end. I even give him a scratch on his stomach every once in a while. I'm like, we're going to get you, To. We're going to get you right. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
I can, like, I be dreaming sometimes. I go to sleep and, like, I dream very, very interesting thoughts of me boxing To and then throwing a banana in the ring after he gets knocked out. Because he's going to get knocked out. He's going to run into a shot and get knocked the hell out trying to chase me down. He's going to get fucked up. but, and, it'll be really funny. It'd
do,
be really funny. I'm going to throw a banana in there, the whole shit.
do you even think that he would even want to fight you? I know I'm throwing names out there, but like,
Like, T.O. tripped on a banana
oh my God.
and it just didn't work out for him. And that's how it happened, you guys. It wasn't a disqualification. It wasn't a knockout. He just slipped on a banana. And this banana was good.
Oh my
Too
God.
good for him. I would just be talking all kinds of mess, man. It'll be just too funny and too exciting. I think that'll be a great fight for us if it happens. You know what I mean? When it happens, honestly, because it's only a matter of time now. You know, somebody like me that's just that dedicated, that motivated to just constantly get up every single day and not be stopped. They said the Broner fight would never happen, and it happened.
Hmm.
They said I wouldn't do very well. He's got way more experience, and then it happened. They said Maurice Hooker is too early. It was just after three months right after the loss against Alexis Rocha with a 2 week notice. I sold that shit out in 1 week. I sold that shit out in 1 week. So you can't tell me I don't sell. And then, you know what I mean? As a main event, you know, and then the Maurice Hooker fight happened. They thought I'd get knocked out, but something happened very early
Hmm.
and late. So, if anything, I'm good at surprising people. So
I guess my last thing about all this is that Bill and Devin originally, I think, was putting like a list together. He would stand you right now, dude. I guess I could. Well, I guess I asked you and Tio, right? I guess this what.
yeah,
uh, um, I know that there's so many different changes in the welterweight division that's about to happen, right? I feel like it's gonna happen. Vacant title changes, all these type of stuff. But is there one fight as a fan that stands out a little bit more that you hope does happen that you can be the beneficiary of that fight, right? Because I think some people are saying like, all right, Devin is looking at Brian Norman, right? Like, all right, Mario Barros Pacquiao fight happens. Mario loses, Pacquiao might retire, right? But Rolly gets elevated. But Devin comes in. Like, is Devin and Norman the biggest fight that you can benefit from? Is it Rolly, who's already established himself by beating Ryan and being in the tank fight? Is it Mario Barrios and Pacquiao? Like what is the big money fight to be made, or to essentially be decided as the A guy in the division that you really want to target the most?
I mean, honestly, it was a real hurt piece for not only um Jaron Ennis leaving the welterweight division, but also Connor Ben.
Mm,
Blair and Connor Ben would have been a great fight. It may happen. It might still happen. I'm not giving up on you guys, but that was a good fight. So like those names would have been great to even see around. As far as like future fights that could possibly happen that I could possibly, be on undercard or help out with, I would say the fight too of Connor Ben and Eubank Jr.
hmm.
Chris Eubank Jr. That would be a great fight. I mean, that was one of the best fights I've seen in a long time,
Yeah,
especially in the welterweight division. No, not in the welterweight division. They were like middleweights,
yeah, they
but
were.
like,
But
it
essentially,
was,
Connor went up and
yeah.
Chris sunk
But
himself
like,
down.
honestly, it was just like for fans. As a fan, it was a great fight to see, and like it could have not been good. It could have been boring, but Conor Ben was great, and Chris Eubank was great in that fight, and they pulled it off.
Do you think the welterweight division could benefit with like a Devin and Norman fight? Because I know you said Norman, you said it's like
Honestly,
200K fighter.
honestly, honestly, no. And the reason why is because one, Norman is not a big name. Like he just has a belt right now. You know what I mean? He's becoming a big name though with that last fight. That was really good, but it is some elements to him that's missing. He's missing fighting somebody like me. He got to have a win over somebody like me in order to become credible. He needs a name. But the problem is fighting somebody like Devin Haney, which is hard for me to really see happening when they can just fight any old body. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. They're just pick and choosing anybody that they think is vulnerable at the time. Um,
Is that like a too dangerous fight for Devin and them? Then
I think so. I think so. But I don't know. I mean, if he runs around the way he was doing before, that'd be crazy. Like I was impressed. I was like, wow, is he scared or is this just like how he's gonna be fighting for the rest of this night? Either way, this is crazy. Is he gonna keep this shit up the whole time? Like he literally made a fucking professional fight of how I don't even know. I think it was 10 or 12 rounds.
somewhere
He
around there,
made
yeah.
it. He took the same skill that he would use in amateurs and took all of that time, all the way through every professional like round. That was incredible. The only other person I've ever seen do that was Beevil. Like Beevil has an amateur style that he used in professional boxing. I've like outside of that, I've never seen that happen. And it was very, very successful.
What
But is his success going to hurt boxing? I think so.
would that type of style require a little bit more hand movement in the welterweight division, like with you and Norman and guys like, the bigger guys, right? Like, would you have
Mhm.
to throw a lot more? Because obviously, moving up in weight, most guys they do have to use their legs and have to use lateral movement and things of that nature. So I do expect some form of movement, but would it have to also equate to more hands? Like, would he be able to do that kind of style against you or Norman in the welterweight division and kind
I
of
think I
comfortably
think
win?
that it'll be effective for a small amount of time, but there will be little instances where he will fall into traps. He will get caught in the exchange eventually. I mean, he fought guys that like the guy that he fought, which was it Mario? What was the guy name?
Ramirez.
Ramirez. Yeah, Ramirez can't really exchange with him, so he's always a beat behind him. You know what I'm saying? You can run around him all day, and that's what he did. But I don't think you can do that quite the same with somebody like me or the other dude, man. I don't think so, man. Like yeah, like that motherfucker from Alabama, he's gonna hit you with something. Like, it might not be the Ryan hook, but it's gonna be something, and somebody like me, well, shit, you seen the sparring, like we could do that shit all day. I'll change it around, like you know what I mean. Next
What
thing you
what
know,
what
he's running
hand
out of rounds, huh?
what hand did you what shot did you hit Broner with that knocked his tooth out? Was it a
It was a
right?
left hand, the left hand.
So there's two guys with good left hooks, essentially. I know that a lot of people make jokes about Devin not being able to get away
Yeah,
from him.
but my punches are more dynamic. Um, I'm using head movement, foot movement, and hand speed and power all at the same time to create something that I've made in the gyms and all that stuff. It's a special move. It's not just pow. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you don't see it coming, and I can change the trajectory like I did with Broner, where it was coming round and then it came straight. Loop it fucking round, but he had his hands up. I'm like, all right, fuck it, bow, right straight, and things like that. I don't see too many fighters surviving that type of fight with somebody like me, with training the way I'm training with the type of trainers that I have. In a full training camp, I pretty much beat everybody right now. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think that I think that what's it called has a good shot though. Brian
Who?
Norman has a good shot. I mean, he has very a lot of power. You know what I mean? But I think that he'll get overwhelmed with the nonsense that's going on
You talking
and
about
get frustrated.
oh wait, you're talking about Devin.
No, Brian.
Oh, Brian, I'm saying like, and
If
Brian
I
would
if
just
I was
go.
fighting Brian, you know what I mean, he'll get overwhelmed and frustrated. Devin, there's a different play that I use with him. I basically outdo him at what he does best. And but the problem is with that I still have more power. So like eventually he's gonna get caught with the same bullshit that Ryan hit him with, you know. But I'm gonna force him to act and fight the way he fought Ryan. I can force him to do that. Not a lot of people can mentally do something like that, but I can. But he's an incredible athlete. When I tell you, his speed is very fast, and I've never seen feet like that in a long time.
Would you kind of say like footwork as in what? Like a Floyd? Like what type of footwork are we talking about that?
No, he has foot speed that I thought he lost moving up in weight.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
He moved so fast that's what I was dealing with when we were younger. I was like, oh, okay. His retreat is so damn fast that like if you ever saw like the sparring on YouTube, it's like yo, I had fast feet too, right? So like I'm tracking him at the same time. Like the moment he tries to leave, I'm tracking him at the same time, and it just looks crazy. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna keep running and chasing you down like this. No, you're gonna chase me down now. Like, you know what? Trap. You can't run and get hit at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? You can't run and fight at the same time, motherfucker. You're gonna get caught. You know. So, but he's a very dangerous fighter, I would say. For the welterweight division, he could be one of the top guys. Yep.
Before I let you go, do you feel like, especially now with you and Justin, together, do you feel like your boxing abilities and your power is completely underrated? Because you showed a lot of boxing abilities in a lot of your fights. And, I know there's glimpses of it, and then there's glimpses of you, like you said, creating awkward angles and coming at different, being creative and making adjustments but hurting guys and flooring guys and hitting people. Like, it's just like, I feel like they look at you because of your style. It doesn't match the blueprint of a certain style.
Mhm.
So they kind of just like brush you off. But do you feel like your boxing ability and your power is just completely overlooked and underrated in the welterweight division?
Well,
Because
when somebody actually takes the fight, it is overlooked. Bronner overlooked it. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, well, he had 2 years off. You know, I should be able to beat him. It was overlooked. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that might have been a lucky fight because, like, that might have been a lucky night because he fought just like right before that. He looked it back, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? That was a lucky punch. That shit looked real lucky. I was practicing that shit the whole time in camp. I'm like, how are we going to get this guy? He can counter better than I can. He's slightly taller. His range is incredibly long. He has much farther range than I do. I have to do a leaper shot every time I land a punch. So how am I going to have to catch this guy? And then I figured out moves and created moves along with my trainer, Roger Romo, to make it happen. You know, in the Broner fight, I'm like, look, good boxing is not going to stop him though. I have to do something that's going to stop him. So all right, we got this one move. Let's see if we can figure this out. Um, Last 2 weeks, I was perfecting that one shot. That one shot that landed 8 more times after the knockdown. It looks like an accident, and that's what it's supposed to look like. You know what I mean? The angle, the trajectory, the footwork to actually pull it off, the timing to pull it off. It has to all look like an accident, but accidents keep happening. You know what I mean? So and that's the magic of somebody like me. Somebody like me is the Joker. If I was a card in a deck of cards, I was the Joker, the rarest card there is. There's only two of them,
Mhm.
and the Joker, right? It's a wild card. It comes out of nowhere. You can't really predict what it's going to do. So like, and that's where I shine. I shine in the element of surprise and unpredictability.
Hmm.
And if I was ever great at anything, I was great at making people believe I wasn't as smart or as good as I really am. you know
Hmm.
Nobody saw me fighting Caribbean and beat him like that. Nobody saw me win against these guys. Nobody saw the Broner fight happen like that. They just thought he'd probably get beat. So yeah, that's how it works.
Well, look, I know, you're going through your situation and hopefully everything works out. Hopefully Turkey considers it. Maybe you and Rolly can work something out. I know Rolly's the top of the welterweight division right now, unless Mario Barnes gets a win against Pacquiao. But there's a lot of changes going on, a lot of good names, like you mentioned, Devin, Teo, Brian Norman. I mean, it's resetting after it just reset, but there's a lot of opportunities in there, and I hope that you are able to be in the mix because I do think at some point someone's going to have to face you at a higher level. I know politics is kind of making the rankings kind of difficult at a certain point, but I do feel that someone's going to see the value and they're going to need, you know, a Blair to Flair to kind of help them out. And um, so if anything, if you want to tell the fans anything out there while everything goes into motion, with your new endeavors with Napper and everybody part over there at Nova Sports and things like that. What do you want to tell the fans out there watching?
To stay tuned to the next big ass whooping coming to a theater near you. Blair the Flair, the most exciting man in boxing. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Blair the Flair for more exciting content. Official Blair.com. Woo! Nobody does it better. You're watching Fight Hype, baby.
So.